Hello all, welcome to LTX classes. In today's class, we are going to deal the important UPSC relevant articles that have appeared in The Hindu. Clear? So date being 23/8/2022. Concentrate on the class and the articles are going to be discussed by Srinivas. Clear? So check the current affairs question right now. Question: consider the following statements. Clear? Consider the following statements. First of all, check first statement. Supreme Court as of now can declare any freebie as illegal and void. Clear? So here we can see that Supreme Court as of now it can declare one freebie as any of the freebies as illegal and void. Void means cancellation. Clear? So next statement, see, Election Commission has powers under Representation of People's Act 1951 to declare any election as null and void on basis of illegal or irrational freebie. Clear? Illegal or irrational freebie. Then check the options. Only one, only two, both, none. Clear? Now see, this we are saying Supreme Court. No, Supreme Court does not have any power to declare any freebie as illegal and void. As of now, Supreme Court does not have any power. Why? Because it is up to the parties, political parties who are coming towards the people to share the things. Clear? And Election Commission have power? No. As of now, Election Commission also does not have any powers under Representation of People's Act 91. Clear? So the answer is D, none. Right? Now check the static question. Check the static question. See, consider the following. Consider the following statements. Today we can go for economy article. See, consider the following statements on which inflation in economy might reduce. Clear? So first statement, increasing money supply. In second statement, reducing production goods and reducing repo rates. Clear? So you can choose the options 1 and 2, B, 2 and 3, C, only 1, and D, 1 and 3. Clear? So these are the options that I am providing for this static question. As this is economy, you can take a bit, you can think and you can answer the question, and the answer would be provided in our next class. So check this answer. To reduce the inflation, what you have to do? Money supply should be increased? No, money supply should not be increased. Clear? So money supply has to reduce down. If money availability increases, people may spend more amount of money. Clear? And next, reducing production of goods. Yes, the production of goods reduce the demand also, and inflation comes down. And reducing the repo rates keeps availability of money more. So the options are 2 and 3. Clear? Yes. Check the articles to be explored. See, center state skew further widened. This is the editorial article. And next, IS man plotting attack on Indian leader. It is by Russia. Yes. So Russian government got this person. And tomato flu detected among children in India, says the Lancet journal. And India Iran signed pact to aid movement of seafarers. Clear? So these are the important articles which are very relevant for UPSC in today's The Hindu. Let's have the discussion on this. Check this article. This article is covered in op-ed opposite to editorial page, and this article is very important from GS2 polity perspective. In GS2 polity, we have something that is called the center state relations. What are these? The center state relations. The center state relations are very important. Why these are very important? In India, in constitution, we have something that is called the principles of federalism. So first of all, what is federalism? Federalism means the clear-cut difference of works to both center at the highest level and state at the level of the state. The division of powers and the roles in India is called federalism. Central powers would be given to the center, and the state local powers are given to the state. Clear? And in the constitution, we have schedule 7. The schedule 7 generally contains lists. Those lists are central list and state list. Central list, state list, and concurrent list. Central list, state list, concurrent list. So the names goes accordingly. In central list, we have few terms regarding the ideologies of center or the activities that center has to take. For example, if you take the controlling of borders of India, it is the part of defense. It should be the role and the sole activity of the central government. And regarding state list, it is saying that we can go with the example of public order, maintenance of public order and maintenance of hospitals and health comes under the things of state list. Health is very important, right? People have to get care regarding health. It is very important, and right now it is in state list. So in central list, only central level parliament can legislate on these matters. At state level, state legislative assembly only can legislate on these matters. And for the concurrent list, that is the example being environment. Example being the parts of environment and the parts of education generally covered in the concurrent list. So environment, if you say, the conservation and the protection of environment should be done simultaneously by the center and the state. And regarding education, if you see, up to 10th class level we have something called board examination, and after that we have board, and from the degree level you have universities. Clear? So pre-universities, universities, most of these would cover from the universities of recognized under UGC Act of Central Government. Means higher and technical education comes under central list, and ground level mother tongue education and everything comes under the part of state list. Clear? So the concurrent list is very important. So in this way, Indian constitution provided the clear cut relations to the center and state. Here the article is saying there are few issues that was remained between center and state. Clear? So they are asking for the higher share in taxes. As of now, the two existing problems between the center or states are asking to raise the divisible pool of taxes. The divisible pool of taxes. The divisible pool of taxes has to be raised. You will get what is the meaning of the divisible pool of tax. And regarding the recent GST compensation, clear? GST compensation. So coming to the first one, what we have is there is something that is called article 280 of Indian Constitution deals with the Finance Commission. So what is the role of Finance Commission? Finance Commission helps to provide the incoming revenue, how the amount needs to be shared between center and state. Clear? Are you getting? The role of Central Financial Commission is to distribute the revenues between state governments and the center. Clear? So here if you observe, for every year, for every 5 years, Finance Commission would be appointed. You know, the things like the 13th Finance Commission. See, I said the 13th Finance Commission recommended the revenues. So how revenues are collected? Revenues are collected from the perspective of taxes, surcharges and duties. Clear? Taxes, surcharges, duties, everything forms part of revenue for the central government. This 13th Finance Commission provided for 32% share. Here see, when you collect taxes, this might be collected by state or by the center, but appropriation would be done to the center and state. In 13th Finance Commission, the divisible pool share is 32% for the state and remaining 68% is for the center. But the same was changed in 14th Finance Commission and they have increased from 32% to 42%. 14th Finance Commission thought, as states are very near to the public, states require lot of amount for upgradation of the state for the capital investments also. To suit the effects of the state government, Finance Commission recommended for increased the 32% from 32 to 42%, and the same recommendation was also accepted by the central government to share the divisible pool of taxes from 32% to 42%. As of now, for every 100 rupees collected, 42 rupees are given to the states for their own expenses. Clear? Are you getting? So this is very important thing. And you know, after COVID-19, the situations has come down and states invested more at their level to fund for the schemes that are started by the state government. Clear? So this is fine. And next, check for the second one. Then what is this GST compensation? You know, GST was brought into the nation in 2017. Clear? So when you bring this GST, lot of states lost their revenue potential because of entrance into GST. But central government assured the states that their part of GST loss would be compensated by the central governments through GST Compensation Act. They have come with one legislation regarding GST Compensation Act. Under this GST Compensation Act, the state governments who lost the revenue because of implementation of GST, that would be compensated 100%. But they said we will provide this compensation to the tune of 5 years only. Clear? 5 years only. So 2017 to 2022, and in this July it was stopped. But state governments are asking to extend this GST compensation to another 5 years. What could be the reason? Because of COVID-19, we have provided lot of our revenues and lot of our potentials to the nation, and we don't have enough money. We provided all our resources during the health needs of corona time. Clear? So this is the reason states are telling that we don't have enough money, and the other reasons are that are previously done. In 2018, 17, 18, central government bought one scheme, that is Uday. Uday means Ujjwal Discoms Assurance Yojana. The losses of discoms, discoms means distribution companies. So what will they distribute? They will distribute the electricity. The losses of discoms are to be borne by the state governments. So to do this, what state governments have done? They have issued bonds in the market, they have raised the money, and they have cleared the debts of discoms. Clear? So losses of discoms are given to the central government and state government, mainly particularly state government. They have given all their savings or any of the left amount with them. Clear? And every time during elections, state governments also follow the policy of waiving of farm loans. What they are doing? They are waiving the farm loans. They are waiving the farm loans, and they also got increased the expenses during COVID-19. Clear? So right now they are saying that our expenses are going up, but our revenue, because of COVID and many issues, it has come down. So it is ultimately the responsibility of these to take care of everything. Clear? So these are the words of the state governments. So in this article it is clearly telling that the center state relations should be clearly streamlined, and the losses of state government has to be completely fulfilled. The reason could be the opportunities to raise money for the central government is more, but the opportunities for the state government to raise money like central is very less. Means central government can go for outside borrowing also, but state governments cannot go for foreign borrowings. Clear? I think I have made this article very easy and to understand. Please go through the article, you will get the required content. I think I have explained everything that might confuse to you. Clear? Yes, this is the analysis part, right? Yes. Now check this article. The IAS man plotting attack on Indian leader held by Russia. Clear? See, this article is very important from GS to international relations perspective. Why? Because first of all, see here there is one man from IAS. IAS man means from Islamic State. Then what is this Islamic State? Islamic State is a terrorist organization. Clear? So this man belongs to the terrorist organization, and he was prepared to have the suicide bomber. Clear? He was prepared as a suicide bomber. Suicide bomber is a person who takes the bombs with him, and he goes on self-destruction of the bomb in his presence. Means during the operation he would definitely lose his life, and he also suffers the lives of others who are near him. Clear? So this is the attack of the suicide bombers. Clear? The suicide bomber attack is very famous in India regarding Rajiv Gandhi case. Clear? In Rajiv Gandhi death case, few persons from LTTE Tamil of Sri Lanka, they have come to India, and they have used the same attack of suicide bomber to kill our former Prime Minister that is Rajiv Gandhi ji. Clear? Yes. So this is the work of suicide bomber. He relates to the Islamic State organization. The report is saying that recently Russia got suspected over his movements and he was thoroughly inquired, and after that it was the revealed information from him that he is an Islamic State person and he was there to have the suicide bomber attack in India. He is saying that he is taking the position in Russia and soon he would shift his place to India, and in India he would commit the suicide bomber attack to one of the politicians from the big political circles. Means his target is to kill big political persons who are in India, so that the world might see the cause. Why? Because there are chances, and many experts are telling that recently from BJP party there is Nipun Sharma, BJP leader Nipun Sharma. She spoke something very bad regarding the Prophet Muhammad. Clear? So the derogatory statements on Prophet Muhammad won't be taken by the IAS persons. So they are charging for suicide bombers on Nipur Sharma. Clear? So this article is very important from this international relations perspective and regarding the security perspective of the nation. Clear? Yes, she has come wrong, but in that case the Islamic State persons should not think of the killing her. Clear? The killing her. So this is the main article, and here one thing you have to make remember regarding terrorism, there is no international definition about terrorism. There is no international definition regarding terrorism. Every country takes their own agreement on related to terrorism, and in United Nations there is UN Security Council 13 Sanctions Committee. Clear? UNSC 1373 Sanctions Committee. In this Sanctions Committee, the members of the permanent P5 and the 10 non-permanent members would generally take the voting, and in the voting stage they would decide whether the same would be the person or the organization can be kept under the radars of terrorism. Means they will designate the individual members and the organizations as international terrorists. Clear? So this is very important. They would charge him, they would charge them that it is of international concerns. These persons or these organizations both very harmful for the world. These are the statements, these are the things that UNSC Sanctions Committee generally keep if they recommend any of the names. Clear? So here the terrorist act by self detonation against one of the representatives is condemned across India and in the Russia. Clear? So Russia actually helped, as it is going against the plot of India. Clear? So this is very important. The Russians every time help India. Yes, so that's why you can write these things in the relations of US and Russia. Russia takes India as a strategic friend and every time helps at the time of crisis, and you can add this as example. Clear? So these are very important. The terrorist organizations generally works on the principle of the attracting the youth. Here in the same way, the person in this picture got attracted to the Islamic ideology, and he was trained in Turkey and he was purely indoctrinated. You have to know this word, that is indoctrination. What is the meaning of indoctrination? Indoctrination means self of taking the Islamic ideology to himself is called indoctrination. He got indoctrinated because of his telegram messages. How persons would use? Persons generally who are very influential in speaking, they would be selected to attract the youth into Islamic State. These persons might keep continuous messages, and they'll morph the videos of few things, and they will indoctrinate the persons towards the Islamic ideology. Clear? So the persons who completely got indoctrinated to this ideology may take any of the decisions, means they can go destruction of most of the things in India and the world or anything. Clear? Are you getting? So these persons will get ready to do any of the acts for Prophet Muhammad. The influential persons generally take that, and the Islamic State generally take the principle that the world is full of corruption. To make the empire good, the Prophet Muhammad would come, and the Prophet Muhammad is the only God in this world, and Prophet Muhammad should only be there, means every world should become the Islamization. These are the main objectives of Islamic State. Clear? So I think I have covered this article in detail. You have to know these statements like indoctrination and everything. These are very harmful, and I encourage everyone to go for both short term and long term measures to control the terrorism. Clear? So terrorism is very dangerous. Clear? Terrorism is very dangerous. These things might take years together to completely eliminate from the society or to reduce the effect of the terrorism on the society. So at initial stages only, the radical ideologies or the radical ideas that are existing in online society have to be reduced down. Clear? So multi-stakeholder approach is very important, and please pause the video and you can provide the short-term and long-term measures in controlling the terrorism in the world. Clear? Yes, you can take the comment box. Now check this article, that is tomato flu detected among children in India, says the report, that is Lancet. Clear? So here the article is very important from GS2 health and social justice part. Clear? The things of health, social justice would be in GS2, and in GS3 also we have few things related to health and science and technology. In science and technology we read in general about the biology part, and here as flus or disease spread, everything comes under the part of diseases and health. We have to read these parts. Clear? So see here the article is raising regarding one issue, that is tomato flu. Clear? The tomato flu, also called as tomato fever. Just remember, most of the flus and fevers are generally of viral in origin. So in this way, tomato flu is a viral origin one, means it is not bacterial, it is not protozoan, it is a clear cut viral disease that affected people in the form of fever. First of all, this virus, see, this is caused by Coxsackie virus A16. This Coxsackie virus A16 is the main reason to have the influence of tomato flu, and this belongs to the family of, see, enterovirus. You may ask the question, sir, is these are very important to remember for UPSC aspirant? Yes, of course. Sometimes UPSC are throwing the typical questions that have come in newspapers, so that in the thought that people might be learning all these things in their newspapers. On the take of their face, they might be asking these questions. So we should be very prepared to answer these questions in any manner, right? So see, this belongs to the enterovirus family, and you might be knowing some other disease, that is hand, foot and mouth disease. Clear? So this is the rash illness that generally causes to children because of the enterovirus family. The other disease is hand, foot and mouth disease. What happens here? You know, children always uses their hand to keep at every place. Clear? They don't know that if they keep their hands in down position or on the ground, or if they are playing, they should have wash their hands before eating. But as they are very children and toddlers, they generally keeps on playing, and they used to keep that same hand in their mouth. Clear? So that is why the name has come, the hand, foot and mouth disease. Clear? It is a viral disease that happens because of the enterovirus family. Clear? So the new infections have come, and children mostly younger than 5 years are getting affected because of this tomato flu. Clear? So recently on part of detection, it says that the report in the Lancet Respiratory Journal, it shows that the disease is causing to the children who holds less than 5 years of age, and they are clearly saying there is nothing worry about this disease, as it is the non life threatening one. They clearly said this is a non life threatening disease, so nothing or danger that because of this viral disease to the children. Clear? So more than 82 children in Kerala has detected in the first day of the viral prospection. Clear? So it shows that it has the rapid spread. There might be the rapid spread because of the tomato flu or fever disease. When you observe the symptoms, clear? When you observe the symptoms, what are symptoms? Symptoms are the initial outcoming or the consequence of any disease. Here the primary symptoms are similar to chikungunya. Those are like high fever, rashes and intense pain in the joints. And the other further symptoms are fatigue. What is the meaning of fatigue? People usually gets dislocated, or in the sense that they'll feel weak in personality. That is called fatigue. Means they'll get easily exhausted. Fatigue. Nausea means unconsciousness, vomiting, diarrhea and dehydration. Clear? So swelling of joints, the body pains and the common influenza like symptoms are generally manifested from this tomato flu event. Means there are no other symptoms rather that generally comes for dengue and malaria or chikungunya. Clear? So this is very important one. As experts are also saying that the tomato flu is very similar to chikungunya and dengue, as well as hand, foot and mouth disease. The treatment is also similar. Clear? Here what are the treatments that they are observing? They are going to have the isolation. First of all, the patients who got this disease have to be isolated. They have to be provided the proper rest. They have to be provided the plenty of fluids. They have to be cleaned generally by using hot water sponges on the irritation parts and on the rashes. They should not use the hand part. They have to use the hot water soft sponge. And supportive therapies like paracetamol can be used to reduce the body pains and to reduce the temperatures of fever. Clear? We can normally use the things like paracetamol. Clear? So similar to other types of influenza, they are saying tomato flu is also very contagious in nature. What they are telling, it is very contagious. Contagious means it can get spread from one person to the other person. Clear? It can get spread from one person to the other person. So the contagious nature is very difficult to control unless the persons who got affected with this should be isolated. Clear? As this is a viral infection, it can easily come into contact with the persons who have the near or close contact. As you know, the young children often uses the nappies they touch the unclean surfaces, and they generally keep all their things in their mouth, right? They generally hold their hand in their mouth, they generally eat their legs with the mouth, right? So that is why the hand foot mouth disease is also similarly caused by the enterovirus family. As of now, this is the information, and it is clearly telling it generally right now concentrated in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Odisha part. Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Odisha people are facing the situation of tomato flu, and Karnataka is also getting feared because of his neighbors got the disease of tomato flu. Clear? So what could be the things? The things could be the proper investigation or the proper surveillance mechanism, and they can trace the point of contact, and the immediate isolation parts should be established. Clear? So these are the main things that they have to follow in this tomato flu disease. Clear? So when disease parts are coming, it is your duty to learn whether it is a viral or bacterial or any other protozoan disease, or if they'll also ask whether there are any vaccines in particular to this disease, or what are the symptoms for this disease, and what are the dangerous, or whether it is a contagious or non-contagious, means communicable, non-communicable. Every information should be noted down. Clear? Yes. Then see, we can go for our next article. Check this article, that is India Iran sign pact to aid the movement of seafarers. Clear? This article is very important from GS2 international relations perspective. Why? Because here India and Iran are going to have the special relations among them to have the good movement support for seafarer. First of all, who is a seafarer? A person who have or who generally takes his most of his time in the movement of waters, or the seafarers, also called as the sailors. Clear? Or also called as the sailors. Here India Iran both agreed to have this support for these sailors or the persons who generally takes movement from India to Iran and Iran to India. Clear? When you are able to provide the almost the good things for them for easy movement between these nations, generally we can expect the trade between India and Iran would increase, right? And the movement of people generally increases, right? Then people to people relations would increase, right? And after that we can also observe the trade movement, the people to people relations, and the country's strategic relations with Iran would also get increased. Clear? So in this way, the aid for the movement of seafarers are very important. So when you observe the article clearly says, recently the conclusion of MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. Clear? What is this? See, I'll write here. That is the memorandum of understanding. What is this memorandum of understanding? Here both countries accept few relations for to aid to support these seafarers in particular. Clear? So memorandum of understanding happened between the officials of India. For example, from India it is represented by our Union Minister for Ports. Clear? And from Iranian side, the Roads and Urban Development Minister are. Clear? So here both ministers agreed to share the control and the relation over the movement of seafarers. Clear? So yes, actually the convention happened, the agreement happened on taking of one convention that exists at international stage, that is, see, International international convention. Clear? Here we are going to see the convention, International Convention on standards of particularly the training, the certification and watch keeping. Clear? And watch keeping for seafarers 1978. This convention provides the training, the certification and the watch keeping, means they keep the constant look over seafarers and they also try to address the problems of seafarers. Clear? This is in 1978. On the basis of this convention, now both the countries agreed to have the good relations to maintain the seafarers. Clear? So this is very important and strategic thing for India. Why? Because here they want to have the memorandum of understanding for unlimited voyages, means here any seafarer from India can take unlimited distance from to and fro from India, and in the same way the Iranian seafarer or the sailor can take unlimited accessibility at our ports to and fro in the same way. Clear? So Iran is very important for Indian relations. Clear? Iran is very important on the things because in Iran there is one port, that is Chabahar port. This was built by India in support of Iran. The Chabahar port, the important strategic port in the Arabian Sea and in the Sea of Iran, in that area, in that bay and everything, the Chabahar port holds the great significance. Clear? Why? Because during 2020 COVID pandemic situation, India provided 70,000 tons of wheat to Afghanistan during 2020 through this Chabahar port only. And India also provided in 2020 40,000 liters of malathion, and after that pesticides. Few pesticides were also transported to Iran from Chabahar port. Means Chabahar port acted as important station to locate all the things from India to Iran. Clear? Are you getting? So India and Iran relations got increased because of the Chabahar port. But because of seeing the Western sanctions on Iran, India stopped using Chabahar port for a while. So the relations between the countries has come down. But there is also the other port which is very important in Iran, and that is the Shahid Beheshti port. Shahid Beheshti. The Shahid Beheshti port is also important, and this Chabahar port are also important, and this both ports can provide the accessibility to Central Asian countries. Clear? Central Asian countries being Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, all these 5 Central Asian republics can be accessed through this Chabahar port. India want to increase its strategic relations with the Central Asian countries by using the Chabahar port. But as of now, the agreement have happened between India and Iran to have the unlimited voyages of seafarers from India to Iran and from Iran to India. So this is very important article. Clear? Now check the current affairs MCQ. Clear? This is current affairs based MCQ. First of all, check the question, that is consider the following statement. Consider the following statements. And first one, see, tomato flu is caused by protozoan, and second one, tomato flu is a life-threatening disease. Clear? Life-threatening disease. And third one, it is mainly affected to young children. Clear? So choose the A 1 and 2, B 2 and 3, C only 3, and D all the above. Clear? So if you observe, I am asking the question regarding the tomato flu. You can, after listening that article, you can definitely answer this. Just think carefully and put your answers in the comment box. Now check the static question. Clear? Now check the static question. Consider the following statements. First one, both Central Finance Commission and State Finance Commission are constitutional bodies. Here I am asking both Central Finance Commission and State Finance Commission are the constitutional bodies. Then see, it is not mandatory to listen the recommendations of Finance Commission. Clear? Finance Commission. So the options are only 1, B only 2, C both, and D none. Clear? So these are the options that you have to choose. Clear? I am asking regarding the static question on Finance Commission. Think carefully and you can put your answers in the comment box, and I encourage everyone to go for answering the questions. Clear?